Black Friday is knocking on our door, and with more and more K-beauty shops participating, it can get a little bit overwhelming. So here are some tips to get the most out of this year's K-beauty Black Friday sales. Plus, I'll give you a couple of product recommendations that may not be on your radar. And in case you're new here, hi, my name is Ulrike. I'm a K-beauty and skincare content creator and just general skin enthusiast. And very happy to have you with me. And let's get into really good sort of base tips on navigating the sales, which can be a little bit tricky. So I've done similar videos before the last 2 years on Black Friday. So some of this might be a bit repetitive if you've seen those videos. But the truth is, I've been a blogger since 2015, so for a really long time. And most of the sales, honestly, are always kind of the same every year. So it's quite easy to predict a couple of things. And it's also quite easy to learn the pitfalls of these sales. I think the base problem with K-beauty sales, especially from Korean shops, and I will focus mostly on Korean shops today, is that Black Friday is not a Korean thing. It's not a non-American thing. I see the same problem here in Germany with German shops trying to take part in Black Friday, that they don't understand the basic concept of Black Friday, which is a very short sale, bursts of sales, but with very high, intense discounts. It is supposed to only last for 2 days, technically, but during those 2 days, if you're really, really quick, you can grab the most amazing deals. I feel especially in recent years, and especially with non-American shops, sales have been going on all November, but the discounts have been deeply disappointing. It's something like, oh, get 10% off. That's not a Black Friday sale. That's just a sale. So Black Friday sale, what I expect from a good Black Friday sale is something like 30% off everything, 50% off a certain brand, 70% off, $1 deals, freebies, amazing coupons. I expect deals that I wouldn't get any other time of the year. And I feel very often, K-beauty sales, Black Friday sales fall a little bit short in that regard. Having said that, I feel if you stick to a couple of tips that I'm going to tell you, you can still get quite a few really good deals. Predominantly, I'll be focusing on the main K-beauty shops, which are Olive Young Global, Stylevana, and Yes Style. So the first really important tip I want to give you, especially if you're new to K-beauty sales in general, but certainly Black Friday sales, is to compare prices very, very carefully. First of all, compare prices carefully between shops. If you want a specific item, it really pays off to watch the sales price from multiple shops. But also, make sure to start tracking prices long before the sale starts, aka you would be well advised to look up prices for the items that you want right now. Why? Because certain K-beauty shops, especially Yes Style, but Stylevana and Olive Young Global have been doing this since a few years now as well, unfortunately. They hike up the prices, the general prices of the items, to a ridiculous degree. Let's say something usually costs around $20 without a regular sale. They will pretend that it costs $60 and then give whatever, 40% off, and lo and behold, it's only exactly the same price as the non-sale price was before. So you would still get it for $20, but it will look as if you get an amazing discount on it. I find this extremely shady. As far as I know, it's not allowed in Germany anymore to do that. You now always have to, I think, report the price of the last 30 days during a sale, but apparently it's still allowed in Korea, and I think Yes Style sits in Hong Kong, so it doesn't seem to be a problem there. So what I would advise you to do is to already put stuff that you know you want to buy during the Black Friday sales in your shopping cart, and take a screenshot of the current prices. That way you can track whether or not they do that type of price hitching. They don't do it with all items, and sometimes even with a certain price hitch, depending on how high the overall discounts are, you can still get a discounted price. But it's just the best tactic, I would say, to already look at the price right now, because the price hitching will likely start roughly like 4 to 5 days before the sale. Again, from my long years of experience, that's how it usually works. So take a screenshot right now and just see how the price develops in a variety of shops. Again, I think the ones to usually look out for good sales are Olive Young, YesStyle, Stylevana. Joltse also sometimes has good sales. The thing with Joltse, however, is that their prices are quite low throughout the year, and they have very good sales throughout the year. So I always feel you are not as dependent on the Black Friday sales. So I always tell people, you know what, you might as well skip the Joltse sale, because you will find the exact same really good discounts any other time of the year, and it's not really worth having to deal with the sales, the Black Friday sales anxiety, I guess. But especially YesStyle, Stylevana, and Olive Young Global do always have very good discounts, as long as you are careful with the pricing. The second tip I always give people, especially if they shop at Olive Young Global, but this is also true for YesStyle, is that you can actually combine downloadable coupons with promo codes, where you put in a certain code number or name, because there are 2 different slots at Olive Young and at YesStyle for these types of coupons. At YesStyle, you can combine official YesStyle promo codes with influencer promo codes. For instance, mine is for YesStyle, I actually don't know. I think it's KBeauty50. I would have to look it up. Maybe I'll put it somewhere here. But you can use any influencer coupon code, anyone you want to support a little bit during Black Friday, because you're going to shop anyway. I always tell people, why not use the influencer coupon codes from those influencers that you really like and want to support, because you are doing that shop anyway, and it doesn't make a difference to you. But you usually also get, I think, 3 to 5% extra discount on top of whatever discount you will likely get for Black Friday. It's usually something like between 10 and 20% at YesStyle. And that combined gives you like a little bit of an extra discount on top of the discount. I'll show a screenshot somewhere where you can see that there are basically 2 slots where you can put in those 2 types of coupon codes. And YesStyle will combine them as an overall higher discount. At Olive Young, what you can do if you register as a member is you usually get downloadable coupon codes. They're sometimes a little bit hard to find. Again, I'll show you a screenshot somewhere. Usually they only display on the product page, or sometimes you have special membership coupon codes, which you can only find under your membership main screen, I believe. And you have to click on the little download icon, and then Olive Young will automatically, once they're downloaded, automatically add them as a discount in your shopping cart. And then if you go to your shopping cart, there's also an extra slot where you can put in a specific coupon code name or number. Those coupon codes give you extra discounts, and again, Olive Young does usually combine those 2. They're usually not exclusive. So you get an overall quite nice discount. Either you can use the official Black Friday coupon codes or promo codes that are usually displayed on the Olive Young website. They're probably going to be announced in a week or so, I'm guessing. Or you can use any of the influencer codes. You can use mine, which is SugarPeach10. It gives you 5%, and I think a total maximum of a $7 discount. If you have a higher shopping cart, the official promo codes might work better because you might get a higher discount. It depends a bit. Just play around with the promo codes until you know what your best discount is. But the important thing is to remember to always look for those downloadable coupons, because Olive Young tends to not advertise those as openly, and they tend to give you a better discount, especially on specific brands, etc., So just watch out for those, and then you can actually get quite good deals at Olive Young. The next tip is kind of Olive Young exclusive, but I still think it is a really important one to emphasize. And I always talk about this, and I always feel it falls, unfortunately, on deaf ears, because I still hear people constantly say, Olive Young is so expensive. And I always kind of say, yes, but there is this thing about Olive Young, because they are the #1 drugstore or health and beauty store in Korea, where they have very exclusive deals with certain popular brands and usually do some type of brand week. And they usually have so-called value packs or gift packs, or they have specific freebie weeks, usually also around Black Friday, where you get even full-size free products on top of your order. The value packs, if you combine those with the coupon codes, you can get some of the best sales prices out of all of the K-beauty shops, because very often they are cheaper than the regular product, but you get some extra freebie. You get, I don't know, sometimes you get stuff like keychains or powder puffs, or I don't know, not so exciting, but you can also get free samples, and they're usually quite generous samples. So something like 20 mil, 10 mil extra, or they even have 1+1 packs where you get 2 products for a much, much better price than the regular singular product, or even 3 products in one. That's usually heavily discounted, because again, it's kind of like a special promotion to promote a specific brand. And those are always the best value for money, especially if you want to stock up and want to buy more of a certain product anyway. So do not discard and discount and forget about those value packs. They really can make for a very good deal. And also, especially with those little gifts that they put in them, it's always kind of nice to, it's always quite nice to unbox these, because it kind of feels a little bit like, well, like Christmas, which is coming up. So they also make for really good gifts. And then the last tip, or more like a caution, I guess, especially for those who live in the European Union. I think in the US, it doesn't seem to be as much of a concern from what I've heard, and neither in the UK. But the EU is quite strict about customs and custom fee. When you purchase from Korean shops, sometimes the deals look really good, but you kind of forget that a lot of us have to pay custom fees or what's it called? Import tax, I think it's called. So basically just the VAT, the VAT, the tax that you would pay here in Germany as well for goods and services, which is for cosmetics, it's 19%. I don't know, it's different in every country. You will know from your own country. And that is something that you kind of need to remember when you calculate how much you can buy and how good the shopping prices actually are. So remember to add 19% to this and potential other fees. For instance, here in Germany, DHL usually does the customs clearance for you, and then you pay the delivery guy at the door. And for that fantastic service, that is always annoying because you have to pay cash and they don't give back money. So you have to kind of pre-calculate how much it might be. Always a nightmare. But anyway, for that, they usually charge a fee that is around, I believe, €6, 6 to 12 euros. So that also goes on top of whatever you have ordered. And the only shop that I know where you usually don't have to deal with that is YesStyle, because YesStyle has a special method where they prepay the VAT for your country. I'm guessing to the government. I'm not sure how it works, but they already calculate your country's VAT into the overall price, and thus you don't have to deal with the whole customs stuff. So the higher prices that you get at YesStyle might actually still turn out to be a good price, because again, they already include your country's VAT and customs charges. So that's also something to be mindful of. Also, while I'm on the subject of customs, a lot of people, I think, misunderstand who is responsible for taxes and customs. It is not the Korean shops themselves. They don't charge taxes or charge customs. A lot of people ask me in the comments, does Olive Young charge customs, or do you have to pay customs if you shop with Olive Young? Olive Young has nothing to do with customs. No shop likes customs. Customs are the government. Your country's government regulates what you have to pay, how much you have to pay, how you have to pay, and the shops have zero say in this. What some shops can do is to make the whole process easier. This is what YesStyle is doing by already adding the customs fees, but no one can outmaneuver customs. Sometimes certain packages and certain delivery choices, for some reason that I haven't figured out yet, seem to slip through customs in a way, which I don't think is quite legal, but it sometimes just happens. It hasn't happened to me in a long time, but a few years ago it would often happen that even larger orders would just randomly arrive at my door without any customs fees. But you have no say in that, and neither have the shops. So this question that I always get asked, does shop X charge customs? They don't, because your government charges customs. And the delivery company is the one that deals with customs usually. And so the shop has absolutely nothing to do with that. So just something I wanted to point out, because I keep getting this question, especially about Olive Young. People always complain, oh, but the customs is so high. I'm sure Olive Young does not enjoy that either. They would prefer for you to not have to pay an extra 20, 30 bucks, but they have zero influence on that. I promise. It is the government. And in the case of my government, Germany, not this specific one, but in general, German customs is just an absolute nightmare. And that's not something that foreign shops enjoy either, I can assure you, from having spoken to quite a lot of them. And now for some product recommendations for K-beauty skincare that I think maybe not that many people know about, or just stuff that I feel is A, really good, and B, I expect it to be very affordable during the sale. So it would be a good moment to stock up on these, in my opinion, really fantastic products. And the first one is a cleanser, and it's a cleanser I've spoken about before and really raved about, and my opinion has not changed. On the contrary, I've just continued to truly love this one. And I'm really glad that I have a 1+1 pack that I bought at Olive Young Global, because it is probably one of my favorite cleansers at the moment. And it's this one from Numbuzin. And it is the number 3 Numbuzin Rice Enzyme Skin Softening Cleansing Foam. This is a really special cleanser, and I'm so surprised that the TikTok crowd has not caught up on this one or even recognized it yet as a really good one for TikTok, I think. But anyway, maybe it's just not been on my FYP. So this cleanser is sort of a hybrid of a foaming cleanser and one of those rice enzyme powder washes. It has those rice enzyme or enzyme powder particles in an almost sort of cloudy, foamy texture. And you can feel the grains when you apply it to your skin. It is just so beautiful and so gentle. And it is such an interesting experience to use it because it has that very puffy sort of cloud texture. I raved about this in another video, so I'll leave the link here so that I don't have to talk for too long. But I can really recommend this one for any skin type, especially if you have sort of dull skin or problems with skin texture, if you have very sensitive skin, because this is very, very gentle. It does physically exfoliate, but only in a very gentle way. It will respect your skin barrier. And when I use this, my skin just feels super soft. So it's just wonderful and also really affordable. I bought this at Olive Young. It was a 1+1 pack, and I probably paid around $10 per cleanser. Super cheap. Will likely be reduced definitely at Olive Young. They usually have really good prices for Numbuzin products in general, and they always have 1+1 or even 3-in-1 sort of packs, value packs. So this is a very strong recommendation from me. Again, universally, I would say this should work for pretty much all skin types. It's a wonderful cleanser. And the next product that I feel is one that is weirdly, on the one hand, very, very overhyped, but on the other hand, I think underrepresented. Because I feel they only work with specific influencers, but I feel not many smaller influencers talk about it. Maybe, again, I'm incorrect, but anyway, I was always kind of skeptical about this particular brand and this particular toner, but have become a convert of this one, which you may or may not have seen. Again, some influencers very aggressively promote this brand, which is called Kaine, I guess. Kaine. And it is, I think, another one of those brands that predominantly market towards a Western audience. I don't think they're super well known in Korea, even though it is a Korean brand, so kind of similar to Beauty of Joseon or XSY. I was planning to actually do a full video on sort of brands that are unknown in Korea, but really hyped up and sometimes really, really good. In the West, I thought it would be an interesting topic, so I'll see if I do that maybe next. But the product that I feel will likely be very, very affordable during Black Fridays, and I think really has convinced me, I've really fallen in love with this, is the Kaine Kombu Balancing Ampoule Toner. So just a disclaimer, this was not PR. The brand has never contacted me. I bought this at TK Maxx. It's called TK Maxx, so TJ Maxx in the US. Here in Europe, it's called TK Maxx, for something like €7. So this was bought by me. I also bought 2 of their serums from the same brand. I'm also eyeing the cream, but we'll see. So this was 100% of my own purchase, my own money. And I was just kind of curious, but also a little bit skeptical, because I do feel they're maybe a little bit overexposed by certain influencers. They must pay very well. So call me, Kaine. I would love to promote your products, because this one, I really like it. And I thought, you know what, for €7, I might as well try. But I honestly didn't expect too much. But this is a really, really nice toner. First of all, it is very gentle. This is a very minimalist formula. It is very neutral. And I think, just like the cleanser, the Numbuzin cleanser will work for a lot of skin types and skin concerns. The main ingredient is 60% fermented black tea extract. It contains Saccharomyces, which is a fermented yeast bacteria, which has been shown to help with dull skin tones, with texture issues. I also find that Saccharomyces and Galactomyces, so these fermented tea extracts, usually help really brighten my complexion. I don't think they work necessarily with hyperpigmentation, but overall complexion enlivenment, I guess. They just make you look brighter and more vivid, and I feel overall a little bit more youthful. And what this one also does very well is it's very hydrating and still very gentle. It has a really beautiful texture. It has that more old school K-beauty thicker texture, but once you apply it, it's just really beautiful how fast it melts into skin. I find it just a beautiful, gentle, everyday toner, and for the price point, it's kind of unbeatable. I've also tried the vitamin C serum, and I really like it. It doesn't contain ascorbic acid, so the overall brightening is not super dramatic, but it's a really solid, sensitive, skin-friendly brightening serum that I've really been enjoying. And again, it was super cheap at TK Maxx. It was like $8, I think. So it was really good. You can find this at most of the larger K-beauty shops, and it is a really affordable brand overall. In case you, like me, were maybe a bit skeptical about the hype, because it is mostly paid promotions. I'm not saying paid promotions cannot be honest. If I were able to have a paid promotion with brands that I already love, like Numbuzin, you bet I would do it. No doubt about it. But I just do feel if there's only paid promotions and no organic reviews to kind of counterbalance the paid content, I feel, I don't know if I believe this, but this one, it's really fantastic. Very affordable brand, will very likely be even more affordable during Black Friday. So if you want to give this a shot, if you've been eyeing it, my honest opinion is that it's really nice. Not spectacular, but a very solid, hydrating, slightly brightening, sort of just antioxidant rich and sort of overall enlivening, I don't know how else to say it, type of toner. Another product that I just know is going to be really cheap and usually has really good discounts on Olive Young because it's an Olive Young home brand. This product, I feel I have not talked enough about it. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it before, but I just want to reiterate my continued love for this product, especially if you're oily skin, acne prone, Kombu skin, if you still struggle with breakouts, and if you prefer lighter moisturizers. This one, just so highly recommended as an affordable moisturizer, and it's this one in the humongous 100 milliliter tube, and this is my second one. I had the previous formula of this one with a different packaging, and I bought this one as well. It came actually in a double pack with the toner from this line, which is also so good and which I just repurchased. One of the best toners and most underrated products for combo and sensitive acne-prone skin. And the cream, the moisturizer is just as good, and it's the Bring Green Tea Tree Cica Soothing Cream. This has such a fantastic texture. It is a gel cream, but I do still find it surprisingly nourishing. I was a bit afraid when this arrived. It was already kind of the end of summer, and I thought, oh, I'm probably not going to use this much because I need richer textures usually. But I have been using this a lot as a daytime moisturizer because I've been weirdly breaking out lately. I have no idea why. And this has actually been more than enough for my skin. I've never felt that it felt dehydrated or didn't feel nourished enough. There's squalane in this, so I'm guessing that's why it still feels kind of rich within the lightness of the gel formula. Mostly it contains hydrating ingredients, and when it comes to problems with acne and breakouts, the two really helpful ingredients are a Cica complex. Centella asiatica, of course, we all know by now, is fantastic for inflammation, redness, breakouts. It's slightly antibacterial as well. Plus, this contains a tea tree complex as well. Not everyone does well with tea tree, so be careful. If you've never used tea tree, maybe use this first a little bit on the back of your hand and see, or your wrist, and see if it works for you. But if you are okay with tea tree, and my skin really loves tea tree, this is so soothing, and really you can feel that it just kind of brings down the overall redness and inflammation so well, especially in combination with that toner. So if you are looking for a moisturizer that is light and works very well for combo and oily skin, normal skin that tends to have breakouts as well, teenage skin, this is super good for any teenagers who are looking for a moisturizer because it is also really affordable. Again, this is 100 ml, and usually you can get a double pack, so 2 of this for usually around like $22 to $25 during sales. Together with all the coupons and discounts, it might even be cheaper. So this is really highly recommended, and this is one item where I would say this is probably worth it to buy it during the Black Friday promotions at Olive Young Global. And the last product recommendation for Black Friday is one that I don't have here at the moment, but I certainly have some type of picture, and certainly also still have texture shots that I can show you somewhere. This is from Haruharu, and it is their Black Rice Airy Fit sunscreen. To me, this is one of the best, most affordable, most universally suitable K-beauty sunscreens that I have tried in recent years. I would rank this higher than the still super popular Beauty of Joseon sunscreen. I find the texture to be honestly a lot better suited, especially for people with more oilier skin. I know the Beauty of Joseon just brought out a new sunscreen that was supposedly for oilier skin. I struggled to make a review video about this one because I can't quite make up my mind about whether or not I like it. So that's why I haven't talked about it yet, even though I bought it weeks ago, months ago. I think that was still in high summer. But I don't know how I feel about it. It's not bad, but it's also really not quite what they promised to find. I just find the texture to still be quite dewy and still quite, if I still had really oily skin, I would say it would be a bit unpleasant. And I find the same with their OG Beauty of Joseon sunscreen, that it can be a little bit too dewy if you already have oilier skin. It is not a bad formula. I still think it's a fantastic, affordable sunscreen, but the Haruharu one, to me, feels exactly like a moisturizer, and a very neutral moisturizer. So it does not have that extreme dewiness. It also doesn't dry matte. It will still have a bit of a shine or sheen to it, but not as extreme as most of the other popular sunscreen formulas at the moment. And it is also very affordable. Usually you can find it, especially during sales such as the Black Friday sales, you can find it in a 1+1 pack or on its own, usually around like $11, $12, $13. So very comparable to the popular Beauty of Joseon sunscreen. It has newer filters as well. It is a very new sunscreen formula. I always call it Kolma Korea 2.0. Kolma Korea being that large manufacturer of sunscreens. And it worked really well for me throughout the summer. It's super sensitive skin friendly because it's alcohol free, fragrance free. And again, I feel this one can really work for all skin types because it is moisturizing enough for dry skin, but it doesn't have that extreme dewiness of most of the other Korean sunscreens. Super highly recommended. And that was my overview tips and tricks for the K-beauty Black Friday sales. I will likely do a blog list again on my blog where I list the most important and best K-beauty sales with all the discounts and coupon code promo code goodness, so you could check that out as Black Friday approaches. Otherwise, I hope this was a little bit helpful and maybe you found some good product recommendations for the sales. And otherwise, I just hope that you will find some goodies that will make you happy during the sales. And if you're new here, it would be great if you could subscribe to my channel. It really helps us small creators, and maybe give this video a like if it did help. And leave a comment, let me know what you will shop for and which shops you've had good experiences with, maybe during Black Friday. Otherwise, I'll see you again likely in 2 weeks. And until then, please take care. Bye.